a junk drawer, that one drawer where everything goes. When it doesn't have a home, the miscellaneous, the unorganized. Mine is in the kitchen. Batteries that might be dead, rubber bands, old keys, receipts I meant to keep. A pen that doesn't write, tape without a dispenser, twist ties from bread bags, things I might need someday. I opened it today, looking for scissors, and found a whole history instead. Movie ticket from my first date, your spare house key, a button from a shirt I don't own anymore, birthday candles I never use, a fortune cookie fortune that says you will find happiness in unexpected places. Junk drawer is a time capsule of small decisions, the things we didn't throw away, but didn't organize either. Limbo for objects that exist between useful and useless, between memory and garbage, between keeping and letting go. I should clean it out, everyone says that, but I never do. Because what if I need this key to a lock I don't remember, this instruction manual to something I threw away, this expired coupon, this dried out pen. We hold on to things just in case of what we never really know. The junk drawer is honest though, it doesn't pretend to be organized, doesn't pretend to make sense, it just is a mess of random items that somehow belong together, and they're not belonging and they're being kept. I found the scissors finally at the bottom, naturally, but I stand there looking at everything else. This archaeology of daily life, these artifacts of ordinary moments that seemed important enough to keep, but not important enough to organize. Maybe that's what most of life is, junk drawer moments, not quite significant, not quite throwaway, just in between, just existing in the drawer we open when we're looking for something else. I close it without cleaning, leave everything where it is, the chaos, the memories, the keys to nothing, because some messes are honest and some disorder is just life accumulated, unorganized, kept for reasons we can't quite name, and that's okay. The junk drawer doesn't judge, it just holds everything until we're ready to decide what matters, or until we need scissors and find our history instead. Everyone talks about closure, like it's a door you can shut, like grief has an ending and pain has a final chapter. But I've learned that's not how it works. Some doors don't close, they just fade. Some questions don't get answered, they just become questions you stop asking. I'll never know why you left, not really. I'll never get the conversation that explains everything neatly, and I'm learning to be okay with that. The not knowing, the loose ends, the story without an ending. Maybe closure is a myth we invented to make sense of senseless things Maybe the real growth is learning to live with ambiguity, to hold two truths at once. I loved you and you're gone, it mattered and it's over. I'm healing and I still hurt. The door doesn't close, but I can walk away from it, and that its own kind of ending.
Good day, you walking with the sunlight on your face. Coffee steam making halos in the air. Little half smile, like you're almost there. You say not much, just trying to feel okay. I raise my cup and tell you, good day, let's call it that anyway. Even if the sky feels heavy and gray, sit down, slow down, we'll find a little doorway. Turn this good day into something great. Keeps buzzing with the same old news, lost in lists and 1,000 open tabs. But right here, all of that can pass. I say one deep breath, we'll be on our way. You laugh a bit and answer, good day, let's call it that anyway. Even if the sky feels heavy and gray, sit down, slow down, we'll find a little doorway. Turn this good day into something great. From people who still think I'm who I was. I'm not ignoring them, I'm just learning how to pace my love. I give too much and then I hide. I'm trying to find the middle. These unread messages, they'll still be there tomorrow. I'm not being careless, I'm just choosing me for once. These unread messages can wait until I'm whole enough to pour myself out again. I used to answer everyone right away, afraid of disappointing or being forgotten. But I was forgetting myself in the process, and nobody wins when I'm running on empty. These unread messages, they'll still be there tomorrow. I'm not being careless, I'm just choosing me for once. These unread messages can wait messages don't mean I love you less. I'm learning how to save some of my heart for myself. These unread messages will be answered when I'm ready. I'm not disappearing, I'm just coming back to steady.
I buy paintings from thrift stores, someone else's rejects, landscapes of places I've never been, signed by names I don't know. I hang them on my walls and make up stories about the artists, who they were, why they painted, why someone threw it away. This one's a sunset over mountains, signed Barbara 87. I imagine Barbara at her kitchen table painting between making dinner. This one's abstract, all blues and greens, heavy brush strokes, angry almost. The artist didn't sign it, but they felt something when they made it. That feeling is still there, preserved in oil and canvas, waiting in a thrift store for someone like me to see it. People say art should be personal, should mean something specific, but these paintings mean something just by existing. Someone created them, spent time on them, put part of themselves into these brush strokes, and then someone else discarded them, donated them to Goodwill. $3 for years of work for a piece of someone's soul. I'm saving them, giving them new walls, new context, new meaning, a second life. Maybe that's what we all need, sometimes to be seen differently, by new eyes and new places. This painting of a barn probably hung in someone's house for decades, part of the background, barely noticed, and now it's the first thing I see. When I come home it makes me happy. This $3 barn, my friends don't get it, say I should buy real art, but this is real. Someone made it that makes it real, and maybe it's not famous, maybe it's not worth anything, but it's worth something to me, and that's enough. I'm going back to the thrift store tomorrow, looking for more paintings, more stories, more evidence that someone was here creating, even if the world didn't notice, even if their names are forgotten, even if their art ended up in a thrift store. They made something, and I'm hanging it on my wall, and that matters more than we think.
I found a penny on the sidewalk today. Heads up, which means good luck supposedly, but I left it there for someone else, someone who needs it more than me. My grandfather collected pennies, jars and jars of them in his garage. Said one day they'd be worth something, but he died before he counted them. We threw them all in a Coinstar machine, turned 60 years of saving into $143, and it felt like losing him again. Pennies are almost worthless now. Some countries stopped making them, too expensive to produce for too little value. But people still pick them up, still believe in the luck, still bend down for 1 cent, because it means something beyond the find it what they'll wish for. If it will actually change anything, or if luck is just attention in disguise. My pockets are always full of change, weighing me down with copper. I never use them, never count them, just transfer them from pans to pans. Maybe I'm like my grandfather, collecting without purpose, holding on to small things that add up to almost nothing. But almost nothing is still something. Penny's built his house, coin by coin, wish by wish, small accumulations of effort. I'm going back for that penny, going to pick it up, put it in my pocket with the others, start my own collection. Not because I think I'll get rich, but because small things matter, because bending down is its own kind of prayer, because someone left it there for a reason, and maybe that reason is me. Maybe I'm supposed to find it, add it to my collection of small miracles that don't make sense until they do. One penny at a time, one wish at a time, building something from almost nothing. I found my old library card in a book from when I was 12 years old. My name in child handwriting on the back, before I knew who I'd become. I used to hide in the fiction section between shelves that smell like paper and time, reading about lives I'd never lived, dreaming about who I might be. The librarian never asked why I stayed so late, she'd just smile and let me be. Sometimes silence is the kindest thing someone can give you. I checked out the same books over and over, kept them past the due date, paid the fines with allowance money just to hold on to the stories a little longer. Now I pass that library on my way to work. Sometimes I stop and sit outside, remembering the kid who lived in those pages, who thought the world was full of magic. Maybe she was right, maybe I just forgot how to see it. Maybe it's time to get a new car and start reading again. The stories are still there waiting, the shelves still smell the same.
Seasons always did when it snows, like the earth is holding its breath. But cars move slower, people speak softer, nature's way of asking for pause. I'm walking through fresh snow at midnight, my footsteps the only marks, and I'm thinking about impermanence, how my path will be covered by morning. We're all just leaving temporary marks, thinking they'll last, but the snow keeps falling, and eventually everything is clean again. Is that sad or beautiful? That nothing we do stays, that the world keeps wiping the slate, giving us chances to start over. I'll make a snow angel like I'm 7 again, knowing it will melt, doing it anyway, because that's what living is. Making marks that won't last, loving things that will end, finding meaning in temporary, because temporary is all we get. security guards for company, and the quiet hum of climate control. There's something sacred about art without crowds, just you and the painting. No one performing their appreciation, just looking, really looking. I'm standing in front of a canvas from 1623. Someone painted this before electricity, before planes, before phones. And yet I understand what they were trying to say. That's the closest thing to time travel we have. These conversations across centuries, proof that humans have always felt the same basic things: love and loss and beauty and boredom. The big things and the small. Someone 400 years ago felt exactly what I feel now, and that's comforting somehow, to know we're all just Asians on a theme, trying to make meaning from existence. I sit on the bench and stay a while. There's nowhere I need to be, just me and the dead artist having a conversation without words. I take the window seat on every train, watch the city's blurred fields again. Strangers sleeping on each other's shoulders makes me wonder if I'm getting older or just alone. Everyone's going somewhere, I'm just going through. From this window seat the world looks kinder. Maybe I just need a different view. From this window seat I'm a small reminder that leaving doesn't mean you're lost. Sometimes moving helps you find the truth. The couple fighting 2 rows back from me, they'll probably forget by tomorrow's light. I'm writing stories for the people that I see, giving them the endings that I want for my own life. From this window seat the world looks kinder. Maybe I just need a different view. From this window seat I'm a small reminder that leaving doesn't mean you're lost. Sometimes moving helps you find the truth. I don't know where I'm going, but the motion feels like hope, and that's enough right now. From this window seat the world looks wider, and I'm learning how to want that too. From this window seat I'm not a fighter, just someone finding peace and passing through. The journey's enough right now. The journey's enough right now. I used to think that I needed to be strong, carry everything and never let it show. But my shoulders got tired, my hands let go. return every call right away. I let my tea go cold while watching rain. Small rebellions against who I used to be, the version that said yes to everything but me. Everything's soft and now, like morning light through cutting clouds. I'm not racing to figure out what comes next. I'm here right now. Everything's soft and now. And if they say I've changed, I'll tell them that I hope so. Growth isn't loud. Sometimes it's just learning when to let go. Everything's softer now. My edges aren't so sharp somehow. I'm not trying to be profound, just gentle with myself, and that's allowed. Everything's softer now. Yeah, everything's softer now.
I wake up before the sun, when the world still feels like mine alone. Make coffee in the dark, listen to the quiet hum of home. These are the moments I keep for myself, before the day asks me to be someone else. Before the sun, I'm just breathing, no one needs me yet. Before the sun, I'm still dreaming, with my own silhouette. These stolen hours are where I become the person I am. Before the sun. I write things I won't send, watch the sky go from black to blue. Think about who I wanna be today, before the world tells me who. Before the sun, I'm just breathing, no one needs me yet. Before the sun, I'm still dreaming, with my own silhouette. These stolen hours are where I become the person I am. Before the sun, and when the light comes in, I'll be ready to begin. But these moments are mine, this is where I find. Before the sun, my own meaning, the quiet strength I get. Before the sun, I'm not leaving myself to be someone else yet. These precious hours are how I've won the day before it started. Before the sun. I wonder what lives between seconds, in the space where time forgets to move, where your smile hangs in the air before it reaches your eyes. Scientists say time is constant, but they've never sat across from you, watching minutes feel like hours and hours disappear like breath. Maybe we exist in those gaps, the unmeasured moments between heartbeats
nights where nothing happens but everything does, where I learn your face again. Time is just a story we tell ourselves to make sense of the infinite. But here with you, I forget the plot, and I'm okay with that. I work the night shift at a place I won't name, watching the world from the other side. When everyone else is sleeping, I'm just starting my day. There's a strange community in this. The night workers who pass each other in empty parking lots and 24-hour stores. We nod like we share a secret, and maybe we do. We know what 3 a.m. really looks like. Not the romanticized version, but the honest one. The exhaustion that sits in your bones, the way time moves different in darkness, how you can feel alone and connected at the exact same time. My family doesn't understand why I choose to live backwards, but I didn't choose it. It chose me, or I needed it. There's less pressure in the dark, fewer people to perform for, just the work and the quiet and the hum of machines. I eat breakfast when people eat dinner, sleep when the sun is high. My body clock is permanently confused, but my mind is clearer somehow. The morning shift people come in when I'm leaving, where ships passing, living in different worlds at the same address. They look tired and rushed, already stressed about the day, and I'm just floating in the afterglow of survival. The night shift isn't for everyone. It takes something from you, but it gives something back too. A different perspective on time. I see the sunrise from the wrong side, watch the world wake up while I'm winding down. And there's beauty in that, in being the opposite, in existing outside normal hours, in finding your rhythm. Even if it doesn't match anyone else's, I'll probably go back to days eventually, join the normal world again. But for now I'm here, in the sacred hours, when the world is quiet and I can hear myself think, when the only pressure is to make it until dawn, and I always do. One night at a time, the night shift worker, living backwards but moving forward.
I'm buying supermarket flowers at midnight, wrapped in plastic, already dying, but they're still beautiful in their way, trying so hard in fluorescent light. The woman at the register doesn't ask who they're for. Maybe she knows that midnight flowers are usually for apologies or memories, or just because you need something alive. kitchen table, maybe for the grave I haven't visited, maybe just for the act of buying them. There's something about flowers, how they bloom and die on schedule. Nothing we do can stop it. They're gonna be beautiful and then gone. We're all just supermarket flowers, doing our best in plastic wrapping, hoping someone sees us before we fade. I'm driving home with them in the passenger seat, their smell filling up the car, sweet and green and temporary, like summer or youth or promises. I'll put them in water when I get home, change it every day, watch them open and close and drop their petals, small deaths happening in slow motion. And maybe that's the point, to witness the blooming, to be present for the fading, to honor the temporary. These flowers cost $3.99, but they're teaching me about impermanence, about beauty that doesn't last, about loving things anyway. I'll buy more next week and the week after that. Keep filling my apartment with dying flowers, cause that's what hope looks like sometimes. Choosing beauty, even when you know it won't last long. Choosing it anyway, again and again.
I'm carrying water from the kitchen to my room, and I'm thinking about Wade, how water seems like nothing until you carry it for a while. Everything's like that, isn't it? Small weights adding up, little griefs, minor disappointments, accumulating until your arms shake. People say don't sweat the small stuff, but the small stuff is heavy. It's not the big traumas that break us, it's the daily weight of just continuing. The water's only 20 feet away, but I have to stop twice. And I think about how far I've carried everything I'm holding. Not just water but worry, not just groceries but grief, not just my bag but my history. And it's all getting heavier with time. Maybe wisdom is knowing when to put things down. Not everything has to reach the destination. Some things can be left behind halfway through the journey. I put the water down and rest, and that feels like progress too.
I'm cleaning out my wallet, finding expired coupons, 20% off something I never bought, deals for restaurants that close down, small missed opportunities. We hold on to these things, don't we? Proof we meant to do something even if we never did. Intention is evidence of trying. My wallet is full of expired chances, cards for coffee shops I visited once, business cards from people I never called, a ticket stub from a movie I don't remember. This is archaeological evidence of my life. Layers of who I thought I'd be, the person who uses coupons, who networks, who keeps track of things. But I'm not that person, I'm the person who finds expired coupons and thinks about metaphors instead of throwing them away. Maybe we're all just carrying around expired versions of ourselves, people we thought we'd become. Deals we meant to use, I throw them all away. Make space in my wallet for whatever's coming next, or maybe just for space itself. I'm eating a microwave dinner straight from the container, standing at the counter in half light. The fork is slightly too small, but I don't feel like getting another one. This is rock bottom in rom-coms, the lonely person eating sad food alone. But I'm not sad exactly, just tired in a way that sleep won't fix. There's honesty in this moment though, no pretending to have it together, no performing wellness for anyone. Just me and processed food and fluorescent hum. Maybe authenticity looks less like self-care Sundays and more like admitting some nights you just survive. Not everything has to be beautiful, some things just have to be endured. I finish eating, throw away the container, wash the fork because I'm not a monster. Tomorrow I'll try harder, but tonight this was enough, and that's okay. Life doesn't have to be inspiring every moment. Sometimes it's just microwaved and you eat it anyway. I'm learning how to cook for one, helping recipes written for families, buying small amounts of everything, trying not to let things spoil. It's harder than it seems, everything comes in portions designed for sharing. And I'm eating alone, the grocery store doesn't sell one chicken breast, one potato, one serving of hope. So I buy the family pack and freeze what I don't use, building a collection of single meals in plastic containers. Sometimes I cook too much anyway, just to have leftovers, to feel like my kitchen is full. Even if I'm not, I set the table for one, put on music so it's not too quiet, light a candle because even solo dinners can be special. My mom used to say that cooking is an act of love, and I'm learning she was right. Even when you're cooking for yourself, especially then, maybe that's the most important love, the one you give yourself in small measured portions. I'm getting better at it, knowing what I need, not overbuying or undereating, finding the right amount. One is not a sad number, it's a complete number, a whole number enough for making pasta tonight, just for me, not because I'm lonely, but because I'm hungry, and that's okay. Actually, it's more than okay. It's learning how to live, not waiting for someone else to make it worth it. Cooking for one is cooking for someone who matters, me. And that's a lesson I'm still learning. Every single meal is practice in loving myself, enough to feed myself well, to take the time to light the candle, to set the table for an audience of one, because I deserve that. We all do. The care we give to others, given to ourselves, and tonight I'm cooking for one, and one
looking at your handwriting in this old note. The way you made your A's like triangles, how your letters slanted left like they were falling backwards. They say handwriting reveals personality, something about the pressure and the loops. What does it mean that yours is disappearing from my life in small increments? This grocery list, that birthday card, a post-it note that says when to get milk. I'm collecting them without meaning to, building a museum of the mundane. We don't write by hand much anymore. Everything's typed and texted. These artifacts feel ancient already, like cave paintings of daily life. I wonder if archaeologists of the future will mourn the loss of handwriting the way we mourn the loss of letters that people used to send. There's something intimate about it, the way the pen moved across paper, controlled by your hand, your brain, a physical trace of thought. I'm holding this note like it's precious because it is. Your handwriting won't exist in new forms, only in these old pieces. Sometimes I practice writing like you, slanting my letters left, trying to understand what it felt like to be inside your head. But my hand doesn't move that way. We all have our own signatures, our own ways of marking the world, temporary and true. I'll keep these notes forever in a box. I pretend I don't have evidence that you existed here in triangular A's and backward slants.
I'm the only car at this red light. 5 a.m. and the city's still sleeping, but the lights keep changing, following their schedule for no one. There's something lonely about that, or maybe something faithful. The world keeps turning, even when no one's watching. I'm driving to nowhere in particular, just needed to move. Sometimes sitting still feels like drowning, emotion feels like breathing. The streets look different in this light, empty and honest, without the crowd to hide behind, just buildings and pavement and truth. I passed the place where we had our first date. The restaurant's dark now, closed for hours, but I can still see us in the window, young and stupid and hopeful. Every street in the city has a memory. I'm driving through a museum of my own history. But at dawn, it doesn't hurt as much. Everything softens in this light. The light turns green and there's no one behind me. No one honking, no pressure to go. I could sit here forever, but I drive through anyway, because that's what you do. You keep moving when the light changes, even if you don't know where you're going, even if you'd rather stay. Another red light, I stop again, watch the signal cycle through its colors. Oh, red, yellow, green, the rhythm of everything. We're all just waiting for lights to change, following signals we didn't create, trusting the system to guide us through the intersections of our lives. The sun's starting to rise now, painting the sky in colors I don't have names for. And I realize I'm not lost, I'm just in motion, and maybe that's enough to be moving at dawn.
I'm writing a grocery list on the back of a receipt. Milk, eggs, bread, something green. The mundane poetry of staying alive. 1 week at a time. My handwriting looks like my mother's now. I didn't notice when that happened. Time changes us in small ways until we look up and we're someone new. What do we become through repetition? The same miles every week, the same items on the list. Building a life from ordinary things. There's no romance in groceries, no grand meaning in weekly shopping. But this is what love looks like actually. Remembering to buy the things that keep you fed. I add coffee to the list, the expensive kind you like, even though you're not here anymore. Habits die hard, and maybe that's okay. Maybe love lives in the details, in the grocery list, and weekly routines, in the choosing to keep going.
It's 11 p.m. in the cereal aisle. Haven't bought anything in a while. Just pushing my cart in circles slow under these fluorescent glows. Sometimes I come here when I can't sleep. At least I'm not alone completely. Under grocery store lights, everything feels possible. Like I could buy a new life right here between the vegetables. At midnight, nothing's quite as lonely as the daytime. Under grocery store lights, the cashier knows me, doesn't ask my name. We've got our own unspoken game. She scans my items like they mean something, and maybe here they do. Under grocery store lights, everything feels possible. Like I could buy a new life right here between the vegetables. At midnight, nothing's quite as lonely as the daytime. Under grocery store lights, I'm not lost, just wandering through the aisles of in between, where no one asks you how you've been. They just let you be. Under grocery store lights, I'm learning to be comfortable with my own company at night. And that feels valuable. These small moments might be exactly what I came here for. Under grocery store lights, I'm not lonely anymore. I've got a garden in my mind, where I grow the things I wish I said. Water them with would haves and maybes. Every night before I go to bed, it's getting crowded in there, with all the alternate endings. In the garden, in my mind, everything blooms differently. I'm braver, you're kinder, and we get more time. In the garden, in my mind, nothing ever dies. But out here in the real world, I'm learning how to say goodbye. I've got a whole life in that garden. I took the chances that I missed. Where I'm not afraid of being open, and every conversation ends in bliss. In the garden, in my mind, everything blooms differently. I'm braver, you're kinder, and we get more time. In the garden, in my mind, nothing ever dies. But out here in the real world, I'm learning how to say goodbye. Maybe it's time to let some flowers go, plant new seeds in the soil of now, instead of tending to what never grew. The garden in my mind is beautiful but not alive, and I want something real this time, not just perfect in my eyes. So I'll close the garden gate, let the past stay in the past, and grow something here in the present where I'm standing, finally learning how to last.
Life feels like a series of parentheses, interruptions inside interruptions. I started to tell you something, but then I remembered something else, which reminded me of another thing. And now I've forgotten what I was saying. My thoughts don't move in straight lines anymore. They spiral and branch and double back, like a conversation with myself that I'm always in the middle of. Maybe that's just what consciousness is, an endless parenthetical aside from some main point we forgot or maybe never knew. I think I love you, or maybe I love the idea of you, or maybe I just love having someone to think about. What's the difference anyway? We live in the margins of our own stories. The footnotes become longer than the text, the side quests more interesting than the main plot. And maybe that's where the real life happens, in the pause, in the gaps, in the things we say between the things we say, in these parentheses where truth lives. My body knows things my mind hasn't learned yet, like when to tense before a memory hits, or when to relax around certain people without me deciding. They say the body keeps the score, holds on to everything we thought we forgot, in muscles and breath and heartbeat, a library written in flesh. Sometimes I cry without knowing why, and later I remember my body knew first, was processing before my brain caught up. You can't lie to your body, it knows the truth before you do. Feels the danger, feels the love, speaks in sensations we don't have words for. I'm learning to listen now to the tightness in my chest, the butterflies, the nausea, the way my shoulders drop around you. My body knows you're safe, even when my mind is still deciding. And I've learned to trust that the wisdom held beneath skin. My first apartment had a crack in the ceiling that looked like a river if you squinted right. The heater only worked on Tuesdays, and my neighbors fought at 3 a.m. But it was mine, 400 square feet of freedom.
meals except the ones I made. I ate cereal for dinner most nights. Sat on furniture I found on the street.
Hung Christmas light
Because I couldn't afford lamps and called it decoration. My mom cried when she first saw it. Said I deserved better than this, but she didn't understand.
This wasn't settling.
This wasn't settling, this was flying. I learned how to be alone there, how to fix a sink and pay bills, how to dance in my kitchen at midnight without anyone watching. Some nights I'd lie on the floor, look at that crack in the ceiling, and feel more at home than I ever did growing up. I don't live there anymore. Moved on to better places, but I drive by sometimes and thank that little apartment for teaching me that home isn't about perfection. It's about being yourself without apology. That crack in the ceiling was beautiful, actually, it was mine. My grandmother still has an answering machine, the kind that beeps and whirs. Takes actual tiny cassette tapes like a museum piece, still functioning. I called her yesterday, got the machine, her voice from 10 years ago. We're not home right now, leave a message, but she doesn't go anywhere anymore. I left a message anyway, talking to a tape that might be full, might not record me at all, but I said what I needed to say. There's something honest about talking to machines. They can't interrupt or judge. They just listen and record or don't, and either way is fine. I wonder what archaeologists will make of answering machines. These devices we made to capture voices, to preserve moments before we learned we could just text. My voice is on that tape now, mixed with probably 100 others. Telemarketers and friends and family, all of us preserved in magnetic strips. When she's gone, someone will find that tape, press play, and hear all of us. A chorus of voices reaching out into empty rooms and unanswered phones. Maybe that's what love is, leaving messages even when no one picks up, even when the tape is full, speaking into the void and trusting it matters somehow, that our voices exist somewhere, even if just on dying technology. I call her again today, get the machine again, and this time I just breathe into the phone. Let the silence record too, because that's part of the story. The pauses between words, the space we hold for each other, the waiting. The answering machine clicks off. My time is up, but I'm still holding the phone, still connected to nothing. And every My mechanic knows more about my car than I do.
knows it's going to break before it does. Listen to sounds I can't hear, sees problems I don't know exist. He's been fixing my car for 5 years now. Never tries to upsell me, just tells me the truth, and I trust him completely. There's something rare about that, someone who could take advantage but doesn't, someone who fixes things instead of replacing them. He showed me once how to check my oil, patient while I fumbled with the dipstick. Didn't make me feel stupid for not knowing, just taught me like it was normal to learn. I wish more people were like that. Teachers instead of judges, helpers instead of critics, just showing you how things work. My car is old now, probably not worth fixing, but he keeps it running anyway. Says there's life in it yet, and I choose to believe him because he's never lied to me. Never promised what he couldn't deliver, just showed up and did the work, and at its own kind of love. I'm bringing him coffee today, the way he likes it, 2 sugars. Not because he asked, but because some people deserve appreciation. The ones who fix things, who keep us moving forward, who don't judge us for our breakdowns, just help us run again. He'll probably say I didn't need to, that's just his job, but I think some jobs are more than jobs. Some people are more than their profession. My mechanic is teaching me that things are worth saving, that old doesn't mean worthless, that care is more valuable than replacement. And when my car finally dies, really dies beyond saving, I'll be sad about the car, but sadder about losing the excuse to visit the man who taught me that fixing is a form of hope, that maintenance is a form of love, that showing up is everything.
My niece gave me a drawing made with crayons on construction paper. It's supposed to be me apparently, though I look like a purple stick figure. She wrote my name at the top, spelled wrong but recognizable, and drew hearts around the edges, red and pink and enthusiastic. I put it on my fridge where adults display important things, bills and shopping lists, and now this masterpiece. There's something about children's art, the confidence of it, no self-doubt, no erasing, just pure creative expression. She didn't worry if it was good, didn't compare herself to anyone, just drew what she saw or what she felt and gave it to me like it was treasure, like she was sharing something precious. And she was, even if it's just construction paper. When did we lose that? That unself-conscious creation, that willingness to make things without worrying if they're perfect. I used to draw all the time as a kid, filled notebooks with terrible sketches, and thought I was amazing. What happened to that confidence? Life, probably. Comparison, definitely. Someone told me I wasn't good enough, or I just told myself. But my niece doesn't know that yet, she's still in the space where making something is more important than making something good. Maybe she's right, maybe the point is the making. The doing, the trying, not the result. This drawing will fade eventually. Construction paper doesn't last forever, the colors will dull.
love made visible. It's someone saying, I thought of you and made you this. Not bought, made with small hands and big intentions and no self-doubt. I'm going to keep it forever until it falls apart. And maybe even then I'll keep the pieces, because this is what matters. These small acts of creation, these offerings of love in crayon and construction paper. My niece is teaching me what I forgot, that making things is brave and giving them away is braver. That art doesn't have to be perfect to be meaningful. That sometimes a purple stick figure says more than words ever could. And that creating without fear is the most human thing we can do before we learn to be afraid.
Saturday morning at the coin laundry, watching my clothes tumble behind glass, reading a book I'm not really reading, just existing in this liminal space. Everyone here is quiet, lost in their phones or thoughts. We're all just waiting for our lives to be clean again. There's a woman folding fitted sheets, perfectly impossibly neat. I don't know how she does it, mine always end up in a ball. A man is sleeping in the plastic chair, lulled by the dryer's rhythm. And I wonder if he's tired from work, or if the laundromat is his only quiet place. We're all here for the same reason. Our clothes got dirty from living, and we need them clean to keep living. It's such a basic thing, but it feels important somehow. This shared ritual of washing and drying and folding. My grandmother used to say you can tell a lot about a person by how they do laundry. I never understood what she meant, but I think I do now. Oh, watching the care people take or don't take with their own thing. Some people sort by color religiously, some throw everything in together. Some use fabric softener, some think it's wasteful, and none of it really matters. But all of it says something about how we move through the world, how we care for ourselves. The dryer buzzes and I get up, pull out warm clothes, start folding on the counter next to the woman with perfect sheets. She looks over and smiles, and I smile back. This moment of connection over something as ordinary as laundry. We don't speak, don't need to, just two people folding clothes on Saturday morning. I finish and pack everything into my basket, quarter the machines for next time, and walk out into the sunshine with my clean clothes. There's something satisfying about this, the completion, the freshness, the reset button on the week ahead. I'll be back next Saturday, same time, same machines, me and the fitted sheet woman and the sleeping man, all of us just trying to keep ourselves clean. To start over every week with fresh clothes and small hopes. The coin laundry isn't glamorous, but it's honest. It's everyone equal in the need to wash, to clean what got dirty, to try again, to tumble around and come out fresh. And maybe that's what life is, just cycles of dirty and clean, wearing things out, making them new again. One load at a time, one quarter at a time. One Saturday morning at the coin laundry,
toast I still left today can stay a little while. I got the sun in my shoes, every step feels brand new. Little dance in my walk, big grin when I talk, yeah. I'm light, I'm loose, I got the sun in my shoes. From you, one word outside and I'm gone. Loose shirt, wrong socks, but my good mood's on. I got the sun in my shoes, every step feels brand new. Little dance in my walk, big grin when I talk, yeah. I'm light, I'm loose, I got the sun in my shoes. Clock says 3, but I'm still awake, watching shadows move across my wall. Your coffee cup is still beside the sink. I haven't found the heart to wash it yet. And maybe I'm holding on to nothing, but nothing feels like something here. In the small hours when the world goes quiet, I can hear your voice like you never left. In the small hours, I'm not trying to fight it, just letting memories fill my chest. These small hours are mine. Flickers like it always does. Tuesday feels the same as Friday now. I'm learning how to be alone with thoughts that used to scare me, but they're softer now. In the small hours when the world goes quiet, I can hear your voice like you never left. In the small hours, I'm not trying to fight it, just letting memories fill my chest. These small hours are mine. Time doesn't heal, it just makes room for new things to live beside the old. And I'm okay with that. In the small hours when the world goes quiet, I can finally breathe without regret. In the small hours, I'm done trying to hide it. You're a part of me I won't forget. These small hours are mine.
The delivery driver knows where I live, comes 3 times a week sometimes. Packages I don't remember ordering, small attempts at happiness in cardboard boxes. We don't really talk, just not that acknowledgement between strangers who see each other more than we see friends. But no, nothing real. I wonder what he thinks about my life. based on the packages it brings. Does he judge me for ordering too much? Or does he understand that sometimes buying things online at 2 a.m. is just a way of feeling something, of believing tomorrow might be better? If this specific item arrives, he's always nice though, professional, never comments on the frequency, just scans and smiles and moves on to the next address, the next life. I tried to tip him once during the holidays. He seemed surprised, almost uncomfortable, like kindness was unexpected in his daily route. And that made me sad, that someone who brings small joys to 100 houses a day doesn't expect appreciation. Now I leave water bottles outside when it's hot in a cooler, with a sign that says for drivers. Sometimes they're gone, sometimes they're not, but I keep filling it anyway, because that's what community is, isn't it? Taking care of the people who take care of us in small ways. The delivery driver will probably never know how much those packages mean. Not the contents, but the arrival, the proof that something is coming, that I'm connected to the world, that I exist enough for cardboard boxes to find me. Today he brought a package, looked at me a little longer, said, "Hope you're having a good day." And I almost cried, because that tiny piece of humanity from someone who doesn't know me meant more than anything inside that box ever could. I watch him drive away on to the next house, carrying packages and probably more emotional weight than anyone realizes. The invisible network of people keeping the world moving, one delivery at a time. And I hope someone leaves him water too.
The power went out in my neighborhood, and suddenly we all came outside. Stood in our driveways and front yards, talking to people we usually just wave at. Without our screens and our schedule, without the hum of electricity, we remembered how to be neighbors, how to be human together. Someone brought out candles, someone else had a battery radio. We shared food from fridges that were warming, and it felt like a party. Or maybe like the past, when people knew each other's names, when community wasn't optional, it was survival. The kids ran around playing in the dark, making up games that don't require charging, and the adults sat on porches telling stories we usually text. I learned my neighbor's name after 3 years of living next door. Living next door. Learned she's a teacher, learned we have things in common. Why did it take darkness to bring us into the light? Why do we need to lose power to find connection? The electricity came back around midnight, everyone went inside, back to our separate glowing boxes, our isolated lives. But something shifted the next day, my neighbor waved, not just the automatic way, but a real one with recognition. And I realized that's all it takes sometimes. Just one moment of shared experience to remember we're not alone. I kinda miss the darkness now, the way it forced us together, the way we became more than just people who live near each other. Maybe we should have power outages more often, scheduled darkness, mandatory community, forced connection. But I know that's not how it works. We have to choose it now, every day, with or without the lights. I'm gonna knock on my neighbor's door, ask if she
wants to have coffee. Not because the power's out, but because it came back on. And I don't wanna forget what the darkness taught me, that we need each other even when we have electricity.
The thing about rivers is they're never the same. You can't step in twice. Some philosopher said everything's moving even when it looks still. Change disguised as permanence. I think about that when I think about us, how we're different people than we were yesterday. Yesterday's version of you is already gone, and I'm mourning someone who never really existed. We're all just rivers pretending to have banks, pretending to be one continuous thing, when really we're a million separate moments. But maybe that's beautiful, the way we keep flowing, keep becoming, keep washing ourselves new. The thing about rivers is they always reach the sea eventually, not because they're trying to, but because that's what water does. Maybe we're like that too, moving towards something we can't name. Trust in the current, even when we can't see where it goes.
The weatherman said it would rain today, but the sky is clear and blue. I wonder if he feels bad about being wrong, or if he's used to it by now. We trust these people to predict the future, give them authority over our plans, but really they're just guessing, educated, but still guessing. I brought an umbrella anyway, because hope and preparation are two different things, and I've learned to carry both. My dad used to say the weatherman is wrong 50% of the time, but we keep watching, keep planning around their predictions. Maybe that's faith choosing to believe. Even when we know better, even when we've been disappointed before, I'm sitting in the park that was supposed to be rained out, watching kids play on equipment that should be wet and empty, but isn't. Sometimes wrong predictions give us better days than we planned for. Sometimes the surprise is sweeter than the certainty would have been. The clouds are rolling in now. Maybe the weatherman was just early. Maybe the rain is coming just on its own schedule. Or maybe not. Maybe the sky will stay clear, and tomorrow he'll say he was right, because the rain came eventually. We're all weathermen in our own lives, predicting futures we can't control, making plans based on patterns that might not hold, but we do it anyway. We check the forecast, we bring umbrellas, we hope for sun and prepare for storms. And when we're wrong, we try again tomorrow, because that's what we do. We predict and adapt and continue. The weatherman is on TV tonight, apologizing for being wrong, but promising tomorrow will be better. And I believe him, not because he's right, but because I want to, because I need to believe that someone knows what's coming, even if they don't.
There's a bridge I walk across every day on my way to work and back again. I've crossed it 1,000 times, but today I stopped in the middle, looked over the railing at the water below, watched it moving towards somewhere that it probably doesn't know, just following gravity and time. How many people have stood here right where I'm standing, thinking their own thoughts, carrying their own weight. The bridge doesn't judge, doesn't care if you're walking to work or walking away from everything. It just holds you up. That's all infrastructure is really, a collective agreement to hold each other up, to make paths for each other. This bridge was built in 1952, before I was born, before my parents were born. And it's still here, still working. Someone designed this, calculated the weight it could hold, made sure it would last for people they'd never meet. That's faith, isn't it? Building for the future, creating passage for strangers. I think about the engineers who will never know that I stopped here today. Had this thought just like I'll never know everyone else who stopped here at their own moments on this same spot. We're all connected by this bridge, all held up by the same steel, the same mathematics, the same hope that we can build things at last, that we can create passage from one side to another for everyone who needs it. I start walking again, finish crossing my feet on concrete that's held thousands of feet before mine, and will hold thousands more after I'm gone. The bridge doesn't care, it does its job, it just does its job, holding us up, helping us cross from where we are to where we're going. And maybe that's all any of us can do. Hold each other up, create passage, build bridges, even small ones between our lives and someone else's. I'll cross this bridge again tomorrow, probably won't stop, but I'll remember this moment, this thought, that we're all crossing something, all being held up by people we'll never meet, who build passage for us anyway.
There's nothing special about today, no birthday, no occasion, just a Tuesday in the middle of May. But something feels like celebration. Maybe it's the way the light came in, or how my coffee tasted. It's that Tuesday feeling when ordinary turns to gold. Nobody's watching, nothing's changing, but I feel it in my bones. That Tuesday feeling like life is happening slow, and for once I'm not missing it. I'm here, I'm home. That Tuesday feeling. I called my sister just to say hello, didn't need a reason, laughed about something from 10 years ago, and it felt like healing. It's that Tuesday feeling when ordinary turns to gold. Nobody's watching, nothing's changing, but I feel it in my bones. That Tuesday feeling like life is happening slow, and for once I'm not missing it. I'm here, I'm home. That Tuesday feeling. Not every moment has to mean something, but this one does to me in its own quiet way. It's that Tuesday feeling There's this moment at the end of the day when the light turns golden, everything looks forgiven, somehow softer around the edges. Photographers call it the golden hour, the magic time when everything's beautiful. But it only lasts a few minutes before the darkness comes. I'm sitting on my front steps, watching it, this daily miracle, the way the world glows before it goes dark, like a last gentle breath. Everything ends this way, doesn't it? With a moment of beauty before the transition, before the next thing begins. I think about all the last times that I didn't know were last times, the last time I saw you, the last time I felt certain about anything. But maybe that's okay. Maybe we're not supposed to know when things are ending, so we keep loving them fully. The light fades and I go inside, grateful I caught it today. These small daily endings that teach us how to let go. Tomorrow the sun will rise again and we'll get another golden hour. Another chance at beauty, and that's enough to keep going. This heart's been worn by others before me, got scars that aren't all my own stories. My mother's fear, my father's pride stitched into me from the inside. I'm learning which parts are really mine and which ones I can leave behind. It's a hand-me-down heart, but I'm making it new, taking out the old seams, starting fresh with the truth. It's a hand-me-down heart, but it's mine to restart. I can choose what I carry and what I let go of. This hand-me-down heart. I used to think I had to keep it all, every lesson, every protocol. But some things don't fit anymore, and that's what growing's for. It's a hand-me-down heart, but I'm making it new, taking out the old seams, starting fresh with the truth. It's a hand-me-down heart, but it's mine to restart. I can choose what I carry and what I let go of. This hand-me-down heart. Thank you for the parts that helped me survive, but I'm taking back my life. Stitch by stitch I'm learning what's theirs and what's mine. It's a hand-me-down heart, but I'm making it true, keeping what feels gentle, releasing what's bruised. It's a hand-me-down heart, but it's finally my art. I'm rewriting the pattern, and it's a beauty this hand-me-down heart.
We're like parallel lines, you said one night. Close enough to see, but never quite. I laughed it off, but knew you might be right. We've been almost touching all this time, and I keep wondering, what if we were braver than two parallel lines running side by side? We could see forever, but never intertwine. And maybe that's the way some stories are designed. Two parallel lines. You're dating someone new, I heard last week. I'm happy for you, and I mostly mean it. We still text sometimes about the little things, weather and coffee and what we're eating. Two parallel lines running side by side. We could see forever, but never intertwine. And maybe that's the way some stories are designed. Two parallel lines. In another life, another time, maybe we would meet instead of running endlessly. But this is what we keep. Two parallel lines, and I've made peace with why some people come to show you what you're moving toward, not into, and that's alright. We're just two parallel lines. And that's alright. We're strangers waiting at the same bus stop, in the rain without an umbrella, both pretending we don't notice we're getting wet, both too proud to admit we should have checked the weather. You look cold and I have an extra jacket in my bag, but offering feels too intimate, so we stand here shivering separately. This is modern life. What invisible rules keep us apart? These walls we build between ourselves and everyone, afraid of being too much or asking for too little. The bus comes and we get on, sit on opposite sides, never speak, never meet eyes. And tomorrow we won't remember this, but right now we're sharing something. This rain, this wait, this moment. Two people in parallel, alone together. Maybe that's all connection is sometimes, just proximity without walls, just noticing each other's existence without needing anything more.